Hi, this is going to be my session 5, my persuasive speech. I'm going to be covering over the impact of stopping cropping of an animal's ears. I would like to first start off with when an animal is sick, he is susceptible towards showing any emotion of being hurt. That's where our biggest problem is that a lot of us humans, we're not able to indicate if our animal is sick, if he is hurting, the side of emotion because they're unable to speak. It is in their hereditary that in their instinct that they won't show any pain or complications. They just kind of push along, truck along, and just keep moving forward. It is their first nature that their first instinct is to be dominant and to just show strength. Animal cruelty is causing harm, putting something contour towards its well-being and of its living a healthy lifestyle. Moving on to the surgical procedure, they put them to sleep, they use anesthesia. Just imagine if you were to put yourself in their shoes and you were up and going, you were doing your daily activities, and then all of a sudden you wake up and you're just in excruciating pain, your ears are throbbing, you have no idea what's going on, and you're just confused. This procedure is evident that there is pain behind it. There's evidence many species that noxious stimuli, prenatal period, may permanently alter a normal developing center nervous system, influencing it for it to have negative long-term consequences. There are also, as well as complications. There's excessive bleeding, there's infection, also delayed healing. Is it worth for an animal to go through such pain to just acquire a certain look? Dogs have emotions too behind so many of these surgeries, and they have no say in it. It impacts me a lot because an animal is not allowed to talk. You could just see the impact on the surgery in a dog's eyes. First, I would like to go into this 10-week-old dog. He just got out of surgery. He has stitches in his ears. He looks scared. He looks like he has no idea what's going on, and the camera is just so focused on the outcome of the surgery. Moving on to the second dog. He looks like he is frightened. He looks like he's in pain. He looks like he has no idea what's going on. This other third dog is a 10-week-old as well. Unfortunately, in this situation, this dog, after the surgery, they cut off a little bit too much of the ear, so that's eliminating a lot of the mobility, as well as it impacts the, I'm sure, hearing as well, because that's how dogs communicate with each other, is through hearing of their ears. I would like to move on to when a dog first starts off, their ears are full, they have life to it. After this procedure, they cut off about more than half of it, making it to just stand up straight. Here's another dog, a 10-week-old dog as well, and his ears are in full mobility, they're long, and then after the procedure, I mean, they're just, half of it's gone. It's like, how beneficial is that to a dog rather than to a human? They all, I feel like so many people that have their dogs go through these procedures, that they only are just kind of concentrated on the overall look, instead of, in all reality, it's just impacting the dog and the lifestyle that they live. There are five different ways of propping an animal's ear. The first one is the full drop. It's where the whole ear drops down. It hangs down. Going into the second one, it's a rose ear. It's where it's almost like a petal, and its shape is kind of round. The third one is the full prick. It's where almost the ear stands at a diagonal slant. The cropped ear is where both of the ears are diagonally intact to each other. Last but not least, the fifth one is the half prick. It's where, almost like the first one, it's where it stands up a little bit more than the first one as the full drop, and it holds a small arc. After everything is said and done, there is a lot of impact that others are trying to make, like, say, for instance, the American Veterinarian Medical Assistant. They're encouraging elimination for ear cropping. Starting off with Gregory Bernard. He was a professor and he was a neuroeconomic at Emory University, Atlanta. He's been testing the results of MRI scans on his dog's brain. Later on, they discovered that dogs use the same part of the brain as humans to feel. They have feeling just as well as we do. James Serpell, that is going to be this gentleman up here. He, as well, is trying to make an impact on others, and he is interacting with animals as well as the society at the University of Pennsylvania. He is arguing that cropping is an unnecessary procedure that later on can cause ear infections. In all reality, many places around the world are starting to ban cropping of the ears, such as Australia, Belgium, Canada, England, Finland, Greece, as well as Ireland and Austria. That is showing that we all need to just become more, have more education in this field and acknowledge we all have to stand together. We have to be strong, and we have to reach out in, there is Facebook, there is where they're helping stop cropping. They're against ears croppings as well as tail decking. Cruelty to animals sometimes encompasses infliction, harm, or suffering to an animal for a personal desired look. An animal's welfare is in our hands. They lean on their caretaker as well as they trust us. You have no voice. Let's help influence others that animals have their own rights. Let's just love them instead of hurt them. Dogs, there are so many beneficial impacts that dogs do on all of us. They help toddlers stand. They just flop down. They're so not driven for themselves. They're driven every day. They get excited for you to just come home. They wait at the window. They're selfless. They don't complain. They just kind of plod along. Try to make the best of everything, as well as they're severely handicapped because of what we have done to them. But they still, at the end of the day, they have amazing personalities that shine through despite everything. Would you much rather have your dog just be an ordinary dog, have the life in their ears, rather than looking like they're not fully the character that they were when they were born and only having half of their ear? Animals are what makes so many people smile. They have such a bond with their caretakers that it's almost like it's your own child. Let's help make an impact on dogs having a voice. Let's be the first people that will make a stance and help educate yourself. Like I was saying before, Facebook has so many committees trying to voice themselves at, it's not a beneficial towards a dog. It's mostly beneficial to the owners because they're having that desired look. And that's pretty much my whole speech. Thanks.